You're listening to TalkTainmentRadio.com.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of TalkTainmentRadio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
This is Motives of the Heart, an uplifting and inspirational show bringing joy to the heart. I'm MEMEP. Winter Challenge. Hey, the weather outside is cold and it's awfully frightful for those who don't understand the enjoyment of the weather. Let's take this opportunity to do some family bonding. Hey, here's a few options that you may have. How about everyone getting together and doing something already planned? So you have to make arrangements. Put it on the calendar. For here we go. Option number 1. Although now in the economy situation, there are more than one family living in the household, but these challenges are for fun and bonding for each individual family. You all can do the same activity, but at different times, all about family bonding. Here are a few options. Number 1, and parents, this includes you. For the first thing you got to do is bring it to the children. I got a challenge for you. Get them to understand to get outside, put those iPhones, those iPads, and tablets down. Oh, they're going to gripe and complain. But the first challenge to you is to get them to do it without you yelling. Laugh out loud, laugh out loud. Here we go. How about getting out a bike if it's no snow on the ground and everyone having to ride up and down the street or around the corner for 10 minutes. Get off the bike as the timer is still going, exercise and stretch for 5 minutes, and then that person has to say something nice about each family member. It can't be anything fake. It has to be sincere. What the challenge with that is to say, hey, we have our differences, but I still see something positive in you. And then you say, hey, what else is there to that? Hey, who was the quickest to calm down? Who was able to calm down quickly after exercising and bike riding and doing stretches? Alrighty, adults, it's showing. We got to take care of our bodies. And then also, who had the hardest time trying to say something nice about somebody? Hey, it's time for them to check how they view people and even how they think they're so much better than others. Alrighty, here we go. Option number 2. How about, parents, here we go. Taking the children outside when it's snow and it's cold and sitting down in the snow. That's right, you heard me. Sit down in the snow. Bundle up, put them coats on, and go outside. Yes, you don't want to sit in the snow, but what you're doing is you're teaching your children to endure through rough times. You don't have a long coat? No problem. Take one coat and wear it. Bundle up in several layers. Hey, you got them stretch pants, them sweats. You got all kind of little things. You want them exercise little pants, them spandexes. Layer up on them and get your gloves and hat and coat and go outside. What you're doing is sitting there with your children. Come on, parents, I challenge you. Sit there longer than them, staring in the eye, showing them that, hey, preservation is a way of life. You got to endure rough times to appreciate better the good times. Not thrilled with either of those options? How about option number 3? Inside the house. You've gone to, whether it be 10 Below, Walmart, or some other store where you can buy canvases and paint and brushes at a fair price. Or you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, or money is just tight. How about taking some construction paper and crayons, or perhaps just some paper around the house, and then make a time where you are set the timer for 5 minutes. The 5 minutes is to get an idea in your head of what kind of winter adventure you want to paint. Something nice with snow and glistening, or something of the children may want to paint of throwing snowballs. Here's the whole point. It gives you a chance to be creative. Set that timer After that 5 minutes is up, get the crayons, paint, or whatever it is, facing different directions so nobody can cheat. And there you go, 15 minutes on the timer to produce your product. When it's all over, when the timer go off, pencils down, paint brushes down. Nobody get a few extra seconds. Then show it off. Listen here, parents. Encourage your children not to laugh at each other or even at you. Hey, abstract art is still art. So you're not feeling that one either. How about talking about a winter challenge? Tell a story about it. You don't know of any story? Give someone else a chance to say. No one else has a story? Well, buckle down and I'll tell you one. Maybe once I'm done, you will be able to tell a winter challenge story of your own. Here we go. So here we are. There is a family of 7. There's mom and dad and 5 children. Mom only had 4 pregnancies. So there it is. There is Silent, who is 12 years old. She's a girl. Then there's Quiet, who is 10 years old. And then there's a set of twins. The girl's name is Follow Me, and the boy's name is Copy Me. And then there's 18-month-old boy by the name of Surprise. Yes, he was surprised. So Dad decided to end the baby train and had an operation. Ouch! So here we go. And we're in the family kitchen. And there it is, his mom. She is griping, complaining that Dad isn't helping with the children on Saturdays, that he takes his day as a time for him to just have fun. Mom works during the week, but she only works part-time at a boutique store. She only works part-time so she can have time to help the children with their homework, be there when they get out of school, and to help them with after-school activities. Dad has now been on promotion for several months. He works 50 hours a week, but it's only Monday through Friday. And for him, Saturdays is his day to relax. He wants to watch TV or play the video game. As Mom complains, Dad just says, hey, I deserve a break. I'm going to give my time to you and the children. Just give me a little more time. After so many times of Mom complaining, Dad has figured out a plan. Unbeknownst to her, he has asked for vacation time for the next month while the children are on winter vacation. He doesn't say anything to her when he receives his approval notice. He just comes in, goes upstairs, and the day is just another day. They finish dinner and everything is well. But as the dinner is done and everybody is closing up for the night, Dad is quick to go upstairs and say, hey, he's preparing for bed. He goes in and everything is done. By the time Mom come upstairs, Dad is laying in the bed, just relaxing. As Mom goes over to the mirror in the dresser to take her jewelry off and prepare for the night, Dad comes up, stands staring at her in the mirror, and sways over there to her, and he kisses her on the neck. He kisses her on the ear, and then he whispers, wife of mine, come on, go get your shower and get cleaned up. And come on, let's take marital bliss tonight. The wife giggles, and then she goes into the shower. As that happened, Dad takes his time to do his nitrile ritual. He goes in, check on each child, talk to them, make sure they're tucked in, that there's no ear pods in their ears. And then he goes downstairs to secure the house. The alarm is set, and he checks outside to make sure nobody's trying to peek in, and the doors are locked, and curtains and shades are closed. Then he hurries upstairs, and he lays across the bed on top. And then he unbuckles his pajama top so his wife can see that dark skin of his. And there's a few hairs on his chest, not too much, just enough for her to play with. And as he lays there, here comes Mom out that bathroom door. Oh, yes, he is pleased. She did notice the outfit he had on the back of the door. Oh, he is excited. He takes his hand and he goes and rubs it across the bed on her side. And then he catches her attention as his finger is going back and forth, inviting her to come joining. as she comes over, her medium hips swaying back and forth, swaying back and forth. Yes, indeed, she's smiling and teasing, staring into his eyes and making eye contact. Her eye movement is all in agreement. However, when she gets to the bed, she reaches down, snatches the blanket and the sheet, pulls it back, jumps in the bed, turns her back to him, pulls the blanket up on her, and turns the nightlight out. He is shocked, and he is not happy. He tells her, "You think you funny, but okay, you want to do it that way?" He has his arms behind his head as he's laying on a pillow, and he says, "Wife of mine, I hear you, but you don't hear me. I asked you to give me time to figure things out once I made the management position, but you continue to gripe. And tonight, when I bought you that nice outfit, before we started in marital bliss, I was going to whisper in your ear that I've been approved for a vacation next month during the same time as the children's school winter break. Mom hears it. She is quick to jump up, straighten the sheet and the blanket out, and lay next to him and start playing with his chest here. But Dad is not in the mood. He jumps up, looks at her, and he said, "Oh no, I'm going downstairs and sleep tonight." He grabs his robe and turns around. Mom, in quickness to hurry to stop him, jumps up but forget to put on the robe. She hurries downstairs, but she's not trying to make too much noise as to awake the children. Dad goes down and sits on the sofa. Mom comes, runs in front of the coffee table, standing in front of him, and said, "Husband of mine, I'm sorry. Please come upstairs. I need you to be next to me tonight." He doesn't respond, so she goes and sits next to him. He stares at her and she stares at him. And he said, "Out of our 15 years of marriage, I have always tried to be an honorable man to you and care about your cares. Have I not been such a husband to you?" She takes her left hand and she touches his brown skin. Oh, she moves her thumb up and down, trying to soothe him of his anger. She says, "Oh, husband of mine, you've been a good husband to me. I cannot complain of anything." She said, "But I was caught in my feelings because I've asked you, please, to take Saturday as a day to spend more time at home with the children so I could do things I want to do." He looks at her and he said, "I'm working things out, and that's what this was all about. My vacation was a plan that I would be able to be here with you and the children, and that the children can now learn of me. I was planning where you and the two older ones could have a winter challenge of your own, to take time to go skiing. The younger ones don't yet know of the skiing, but you've been given silent and quiet skiing lessons for 2 years, but yet y'all haven't had a skiing adventure. So that was for me to do for you all." And she says, "Oh, okay. While you on vacation, I'll plan it all for us." He said, "No, it's just for you all." And he gets up and turns to walk up the stairs. She jumps up, walking behind him, saying, "Thank you, husband of mine. Thank you. I'll make plans for the Saturday so you'll know what to do with the children." He is now at the top of the stairs. He turns to her and he says, "No, you won't. You go and bond with those two older ones, those you've spoiled. These younger ones, they're going to stay home with me so they can learn how to do things the Dad's way. I want you to celebrate with them because things is about to change with them." Just as Dad is saying that to Mom, they both are unaware that 10-year-old Quiet has awakened, not to any sound they have made, but that he knows to go to the bathroom. Unbeknownst to them, he is twisting the doorknob and he gets a peek of what his outfit his mom is wearing And he opens the door and say, "Ma, what are you wearing?" His eyes as big as marbles. Dad quickly positions himself to block his sight and says, "Quiet, what are you doing up?" As he slowly walks to the bathroom, he's moving his head back and forth trying to get another look at that outfit Mama's wearing. He says, "Dad, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta pee." Dad said, "Well, get going and quit trying to pee." He stands there to block the son's way. Quiet closes the bathroom door. But Dad stands there. He knows. Because then there's Quiet, cracking that bathroom door trying to get another peek. But all he sees is Dad's face, and Dad says, "Boy, get out of grown folks' business. Close that door. Handle your business." He is quick to close the door and locks it. Mom and Dad quickly hurries into the room and locks the door. Then Dad pulls Mom ever so gently to the bed. He says, "Tonight, we're going to put everything on hold but us. Come on, wife of mine. Let's celebrate that outfit." As Dad pulled Mom down and Mom falls on top of him, he swirls over and gets on top, and they begin to kiss. But then next thing you know, they hear that doorknob going back and forth, back and forth. Dad turns and says, "Quiet! Get your butt in the bed." Shortly after that, you hear footsteps running down the hallway, and the door closes. Dad says, "Now, let's handle our marital bliss." The next scene is the following month, and the children are starting their vacation. It's a Sunday morning, and Mom has cooked breakfast, and she's telling the children to hurry so they all can get to Sunday school and enjoy church as well. She tells the children to hurry. She wants the kitchen clean so she don't have to worry about cleaning it when she gets back. Yes, Silent and Quiet, the two older ones, aren't in a rush, but the 7-year-olds enjoy it. Follow me and copy me, jumps and hurries, for they enjoy Sunday school. Their Sunday school teacher gives them 10 minutes to talk with the other students before she starts class time. For once class is over, parents are required to be there and get their children, and they don't have time to chit-chat anymore. Why they do that? Sincere and Quiet continue their breakfast meal. Dad has taken Surprise and now is in the living room. He has dressed him and just letting him play while he waits for Mom to complete. The scene fades out, and now we're at the church. And now church is now being let out. And as the congregation is leaving, and the pastor is there greeting everyone. As the family walks out, the pastor says, "Brother Strong, may I speak with you for a moment?" He says, "Sure, Pastor." The wife takes the children and they continue to the SUV. Pastor pulls him to the side and he says, "Brother Strong, thank you for your commitment to the community and for including the brothers here at the church. But I must say, some of the wives are having questions because they're curious about this third Saturday being Father Bond with Children Day, but they have no insight. The men aren't sharing anything, and including my wife, she wants to know." He giggles and says, "Pastor, sometimes we men need time to figure it out, how to bond with our children. And this needs to be done with no interruption of a woman's input." The pastor and the dad giggles. And he said, "You're right. Well, you can count on I and my 2 children on Saturday." The men shake hands and part ways. As Dad enters the car and begins to buckle up, Mom turns and says, "What did Pastor want with you, dear?" He doesn't look up at to her. He just continues to buckle his seatbelt and begin the car to move and says, "That's men folks' business." Wife just stares at him, and the children are in the back. Chaos is going on. The 2 older ones are arguing, and the twins are picking on one another. But Surprise, the 18-month-old, is in his car seat, and he's sleeping comfortably. Mom raises her voice to have them settle down, but Dad takes his hand and pats on Mom's lap just to let her know, leave him alone. She concedes and quiets herself. She turns to look out the window and just let him handle the matter. As the SUV closes out the scene, crunching through the ice, for Lord knows it's a wonderful, beautiful winter day. Now we're at the house, and as everyone is going in, Mom is giving out orders. She said, "Husband of mine, please take Surprise upstairs to rest. You children, you twins, I need y'all to get upstairs and take off your church clothes. Quiet and silent, I need you to go upstairs, bring your suitcases down for our trip, and also to bring your chargers and place them on top of your suitcases so as not to forget them. And oh, husband of mine, please load up the skis up on top of the SUV and the suitcases so we may be going." Dad turns around and says, "I'll do all those things, but I need you to go upstairs and rest, for you have a 2-hour drive and you've got a full week ahead." As things is going along and everyone is moving around, the scene fades away. Then the scene lights up again, and Mom and the children are getting in the car. Dad and the children are bundled watching on. Dad is holding Surprise in his left hand, and the twins, Follow Me and Copy Me, is standing at his side waving goodbye to their older siblings and Mom. They are not happy that they don't get to go on this trip. But Dad tells them, "Y'all don't even know how to ski. Let them have their fun, and you can have fun with me." So as the SUV takes off, there's still snow falling. But Dad knows, as pretty as it is the scenery, there's more snow to where they're going to accommodate all the skiers. Dad tells them sincerely to go into the house. Follow Me and Copy Me is not happy about that. But Dad steps back, make eye contact, tilts his head to the door, and then they go in, and the scene fades away. Now there is Mom driving. She's excited about the adventure, the challenge for them to bond with her as they go skiing. But as Mom talks to the 12-year-old and 10-year-old, they're not responding. They got the earpods. They have no desire to converse with her. She's upset and in her feelings. She calls her sister on the car phone and says, "Hey, I'm trying to bond with these children and they're ignoring me." The sister laughs and says, "Hey, it's all good, sis. You're going to teach them a lesson Mama taught us." She said, "What do you mean?" "Remember when Mom took us on vacations and tried to bond with us while Dad stayed home with our brother?" She said, "Remember how we were? We wasn't trying to interact with Mom much. So did she not teach us a lesson? Remember how she told us, 'Oh, you don't want to go? You don't want to entertain with me? Then fine. You stay here and I'll go out and enjoy myself.' And do you remember how Mom came back to the place, seen to make sure we were okay, and then took off again? And then at the end of everything, we was there enjoying TV and things, but we didn't have fun. Every time we was ready to go, Mom was gone. Remember how we learned our lesson? Teach yours the same. You have fun regardless. Find fun in you." And as the two continue to talk for a little bit, and then they hang up. Mom continues to drive, and as she's pulling up, she calls her husband to let him know they made it safely. So she goes in, gets the key. It's a resort, but they have little homes in it. She gets in, the children get in the car, they go and drive where they need to be, unpack everything, and Mom says, "Hey, we're hungry. Let's get a bite to eat." So they hurry off to the cafe. Why at the cafe? The waiter and waitresses are wonderful. The food is delicious. The people there are so delightful in laughter and kindness. And you stare out the window as Mom is waiting for the waiter to bring her her tab. The snow is full and fluffy, and there's plenty of it, falling ever so gently upon the high rise of the snow already on the ground. And it's glistening even though it's dark time. You have much light from the snow. Mom pays her tab, gives the waiter a generous tip, and the children have plenty of food to nibble on during the night. So they go back and return to the resort home. They go in and Mom say, hey, y'all be ready, shower up. Tomorrow is our adventure starts. She said, I'll go grocery shopping in the morning to get food. So they all go up and they all have their own room. Everyone is showered and in the night. Mom goes and check on the children and she looks in. And yes, the little cell phone is like a TV in front of their face, but the AirPods are in their little chargers. There's a rule where before you say your prayers, you put those AirPods in their charger. You can keep the phone and look at them after you finish your prayers. She goes in and kisses each child and says, I love you and good night. Now the scene turns into the next morning. Mom and the children had a great rest. Mom is up early and excited. She goes in, tells the children, okay, listen, rest a little more, but I'm getting ready to run to the store. By the time I get back, be dressed so we can get out at the ski slopes early and fresh. It starts at 9. Mom hurries and rushes out the house, telling the children, the alarm is set. Stay inside. I have my phone in case of an emergency. She hears no response, but she figured they'll be up by the time she gets back. She hurried to the small store. Well, it's bigger than the average small store, for the skiing resort is a big booming business, so there's plenty in there. Mom hurries. It's 7:05 and the store opened at 7. Mom is there grabbing her little list. She's quick to have short conversations with those people she recognized. But Mom hurries back to the house. She come in with one bag, yelling for the children to come help her unload the rest. But there is no response. This really isn't nothing new. So Mom hurries and gets the groceries out and she places them on a counter. She puts the food that needs to go in the freezer and heads upstairs. Hey, come on, here we go, come on. She opens to the door and to her surprise, both children are still laying in the bed. So she yells in the hallway so both children can hear as their doors are open. I'm going to the bathroom. You need to hurry up if you're coming or I'm leaving you. She comes out the bathroom, hoping they're yelling, Mom, wait for us, but they don't. She remembers what her sister told her, and she says, okay, I'm leaving. Do not go out this house and put those groceries up. I know you hear me. She goes and takes off. Mom decides, okay, in the car. She said, I'll go to the Black Cove. Black Cove is the slope for professionals, those who think that they're pro or semi-pros in skiing, excellent skiers. And then Mom feels a little guilty that, hey, she's excited the children didn't come. She can have time to herself. As she pulls up, buy her ticket and gets on the lift and it takes her up higher towards the mountaintop. Mom looks at the snow and it's so wonderful. There's few people out there. And she gets in line. But as she's standing in line for her turn to go down the slopes, a conversation begins with some other skiers. They're talking about the enjoyment of skiing, the thrill of it, and the last time they went skiing. Mom shares it's been 15 years. And the skiers look and tell her, have you updated your skis? And she said, I did 2 years ago when I got my children some skis as they got lessons. One suggested she goes down and do the red code to get her body warmed up and adjusted to skiing again. You know, she says, as we get older, our bodies need a little extra warm up. Mom looks and giggles and says, I keep my body in shape. And skiing is just like riding a bike. So now they continue to chat, but now it's Mom's turn to step into the starting plate. She lowers her goggles onto her eyes. She bends down slightly of her knees. And she takes the ski poles and darts off. Whoosh! She goes down that hill, moving and gliding on the snow. It is a thrill that she had forgot Oh, the euphoria of skiing at this high rate down the mountain. Boy, she's moving, sliding, gliding. She's going over the moguls. You know, the little hills and humps that the skiers before her has built up as they navigate down there. Boy, she's managing them good, boy heaven. There she go. She is so delightful in her mind that the children didn't come. And then as she hits a medium mogul, something seems to go awry. The right leg swerves out higher and wider than she anticipated. She swings her body to the left, trying to curve that leg back in, but the leg widens out further, and before you know it's uncontrolled, and whoosh! Mom's right side hits the ground. The snow impact is hard. Yes, the right leg is on the ground. It's not twisted, and the ski is still attached, but the left leg is hanging in the air, and Mom took a hard hit. The skiers that came down before her watched in horror. But believe me, though they watched in horror, it was nothing like living it like Mom went through it. They called for help, and shortly after that, a helicopter is standing over, gliding, sitting down the bed for them to load her up. Mom is taken immediately to the hospital. As the helicopter lands on the hospital top roof, there are doctors and nurses there to take her in quickly. She is now conscious, and they get information from her, and the nurse calls her husband. The nurse informs her husband of the situation. He tells her the doctors are examining her. We're not sure, but we don't suspect of any broken bones, but they must examine her gently to be sure. She was conscious, and she wanted us to let you know the children did not go skiing with her and is at the resort home. Dad says thank you and hurry hangs the phone up, and as he's getting the three ready, he checks on Quiet and Silent. They're there and answer the phone. He tells them to stay calm and don't be upset that they didn't go skiing with Mom, and that he would call for an Uber to come get them when he's closer, that they could meet him at the hospital. Dad loads up the three children, for it's best not to waste time to try to get a babysitter, and he begins his role. He calls his sister-in-law on the car phone, and he says, "Sister of mine, sister-in-law, your sister has had an accident, and I'm on my way with the children. The other two are safe." Sister-in-law said, "Brother, don't worry about it. I'll contact brother and start a prayer line." This is Motives of the Heart,
an uplifting and inspirational show bringing joy to the heart. I'm MEMEP.
Want to hear the conclusion of Motives of the Heart Winter Challenge? Tune in to TalkTainmentRadio.com.